Today we will draw an animal that starts with the letter A. We are going to draw an alpaca. An alpaca is an animal that comes from South America. It looks like a llama and it also looks like a sheep. It has a long neck like a llama and it has very fluffy fur like a sheep. Start with a V shape for the alpaca's nose, then draw a bump over the first line and a bump over the second line. Draw a line going straight down and then create a curve on the right and on the left. Draw a shape underneath those two bumps. Make a curved shape, and that looks like the alpaca's smile. Color in the three shapes that you just created. The next step is to draw two circles above the alpaca's mouth. These will be the eyes of the alpaca. Add a small circle inside of those circles, but don't color that little circle in. That little circle is going to stay white and is going to be the highlight of the eye. That means the little bit of light that reflects off of your eyes. Color in the whole eyeball except for that little circle. If you accidentally made one of your eyes too small, like I did in my picture, you can fix it by making your circle a little bit bigger now, since we're coloring in the eyes. Add a chin underneath the mouth of the alpaca. Make a big curved line on both sides of the llama's cheeks. Next, draw two tall ears. Don't attach the ears to the eyes because we're going to add lots and lots of fur to make a very fluffy alpaca. So the ears are going to be floating above the head a little bit. I'm switching over to a crayon. Most alpacas have white fur or brown fur, so I'm using a brown crayon, but you can pick whatever color you like. I'm drawing long lines on the top of the alpaca's head to look like long fur. I'm adding lots of layers of these lines to make it look very, very fluffy. As I draw these lines down, I'm also going to draw some of the fur in front of the alpaca's eyes and in front of his face. Keep adding fur, add it everywhere on his head. On the sides of his head, on the top of his head. You can even put some fur in his ears. Try to make all of these lines about the same size. I'm making sure that I'm putting hair all over his face and I'm not missing any parts. And in the end, I should have a round looking head. Next, I'm going to work on the fur on the alpaca's long neck. In the picture that we're looking at, you can see how fluffy the fur is on this whole body. You can also see that the alpaca in the photograph looks like he's wearing a scarf. We are also going to draw a scarf on our alpaca. So add a few lines of fur, then you can choose another color and draw a scarf. To draw a scarf, we're going to draw a line going across the neck and two lines going down the neck, and then another line on the bottom. So it looks like a curved rectangle. You can add any colors and any patterns you want to in your scarf. I'm drawing a couple of lines right now, long diagonal lines going across this rectangular scarf to look like the long scarf is wrapped around the alpaca's neck to keep him very warm. I'm adding some X's to look like a pattern on the scarf. You can add any kind of pattern that you like, and you can use any colors that you like. The very last step on my picture is coloring in the alpaca's ears and face. You can leave these white if you want to. If you leave it white, it will look like your alpaca has white fur or light tan fur. If you color it in brown, your alpaca will look like a brown alpaca. It's your choice if you want to color in the face and the ears. I'm also going to add a lot more fur and darker lines to the fur that I already drew to make my alpaca look a little bit darker and a little bit more fluffy.